Getting the ham cam.
This is behind the scenes of the ham
Behind the
cam.
scenes. Welcome to Ham's Kitchen. Cooking with ham. All right.
We're ready?
I think we can get this road on the show.
All right. It's April 27th, 2014, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 423 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers. I am foyleman. And also on the show today we have with us Stryder. Hello, Stryder.
Hello, everybody.
Stryder's got special powers now. He can climb on walls, fight for crime. All right, Ham is also with us. Hello, Ham.
Hey, everybody.
So before we begin, let me remind you all that this show is recorded live, so the things that you are hearing are probably not true. No, that's not true, actually. Or is it? There may be some adult themes, language, so if you're worried about getting offended, worry more.
Worries were confirmed.
Yes. And that's it. That's all I got to say. Yeah, so Stryder is turning into a Spider-Man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Look for me swinging from buildings in your neighborhood soon.
Mm-hmm. That's the marker for his eye.
Yeah, on a crime spree. I'm like the anti-Spider.
All right, so we have a lot to talk about. I am going to jump right into it. I'm going to start with our tour around the world in the week in games. We're going to start off with China. Did you know that China had a ban on consoles? This is something that I only learned about a month ago, I think.
Oh.
And apparently they're not allowed to have consoles. I don't actually fully understand why, but it's been in effect for about 13 years, and it's about to be lifted.
Because it stopped productivity.
That's why PC games were so entrenched in China.
Mm-hmm. One of the reasons.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, the reason is that they're better. And they didn't. It was two things. One was they did it under the guise of keeping China productive and not, a drooling mass of humanity like North American people that just sit there mindlessly on their couch.
Oh, we'll
they
get to
want
that.
To have productivity. Now, China was very anti-USA, right? Because everything that comes out on the consoles is really USA, So it was, they didn't want to follow in that mindset. So it was a twofold hammer. So look for China to be jumping onto the America bandwagon in the near future.
I don't know. I don't know.
Spread some freedom.
Spread some freedom, brother.
Well, through an extensive amount of censorship, because they're going to say that it is illegal. They'll have a ban list on all of the stuff that's going on with the Chinese consoles, or the consoles in China, I really should say. Is there a difference? I don't know. Anyway, there's not going to be any gambling allowed. No threats, no harms, no insults or slander allowed. It's all banned.
So they're basically saying, yeah, you can't play with any American kids because they're just a bunch of 12-year-old griefers.
Yep, no text or voice chat, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to kill that.
They might end up saying, well, why is this better than PC gaming?
Well, essentially, it isn't. We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
Will this be the fall of PC gaming?
No.
Got it.
No, just look for. There's going to be a big rush of everybody that's going to be like, oh, we could finally get a Nintendo, right? And they're going to play. They're going to play the consoles, and they're going to be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And they're going to go back to their PC games.
This doesn't keep my attention long enough to die.
I know. China is a huge fan of MMOs, RPGs, and things like that. Now, is that because that's all that there is available
Strategy.
on PC? No. But that is what they are a big fan of.
StarCraft and
Yeah. So there's not going to be a huge amount of people jumping on board that aren't, onto the console, that aren't just, they're not going to go out and say, oh, I'm going to get this console. I'm going to have all these different games to play. No, because they've already got it's kind of awesome in a way, because it's going to prove a point that you're going to have your fans or your novelty purchases as soon as it's lifted.
Day one. Yep.
Yeah. But after that, there's going to be a lot of paperweights, a lot of dust collectors.
I kind of see that happening as well.
I could see the local gangs really buying into it so that they can increase their gold farming options.
Oh yeah.
Pulling kids off the street and throwing them in front of a console.
Yeah, but you can't farm gold on a console.
Can you not? Don't they have the same games pretty much?
No.
I guess
Not
it's too
unless-
hard to
well,
sell.
maybe on the PlayStation Network you can, but Microsoft, everything's done through Microsoft servers, so.
Well, they're not the only ones facing a ban here. We also have Russia, who is trying to ban Skype, right? Skype and Gmail stuff.
Any sort of social networking.
Oh, it goes that far.
Yeah. Skype, Facebook, any type of social networking that doesn't have servers on Russian soil.
Right.
And they're using the anti-terrorism
Right.
as a call it what you will, but if companies would just learn to encrypt their data, there wouldn't be this problem anyways. Encrypt your data, and then if somebody wants it legally, you give it to them because it's encrypted and it's safe. But the problem with Facebook and Skype and all that is none of them are encrypted data. Skype doesn't really store anything anyways other than your contacts, so I don't quite get that one. But yeah.
Well,
This is the start of another Cold War. It'll be the Internet Cold War.
yeah. Well, I think it was revealed that some Skype calls could be sort of intercepted. And
All Skype
recorded.
calls can be intercepted.
They are
Right.
being intercepted by Microsoft.
NSA is listening to this right now,
Yeah.
and it's because it's a non-encrypted. Like Skype doesn't have any encryption, no protection. Facebook has no encryption or protection. Here's a hint to all you people out there that are like, oh, they're watching me. Stop posting every fucking thing you do on Facebook, and they'll stop watching you.
Yeah.
They don't need to watch you. You're telling them what you're doing.
It's kind of hard to
Just
say I want privacy when you show the world everything you do.
Yeah, I find that one of the biggest conundrums of, well, it's not even a conundrum because it's people just being stupid, but it's like I am so concerned about governments and they're invading my privacy. You have no privacy. You're on Facebook. You just posted that you took a shit and had to wipe 3 times.
Yeah, you see,
And
that's
then you're going back to the table to eat spaghetti and meatballs.
That's where the government's screwing up. They should stop asking for stuff because that just lets everybody know that they're watching. They should just watch because it's public anyways.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
what the NSA was doing. And then I have a problem with what the NSA was doing and still doing, where they're just collecting mass amounts of data and then filtering it afterwards. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with any government doing that. If I pick up the phone and make a phone call, I shouldn't have to worry about that being, and I'm not doing anything illegal or never been involved in anything illegal. Why should I be suspect that call's being recorded? Why should that be any different than an email just because it's online?
That's why Stryder and I only communicate through Morse code now.
Yes. Dot
Lost art.
dash dot dot dot. Make up some kind of click language with 8-bit sounds. Damn, they went right around. They circumvented us. We can't pick up 8-bit sounds. That's what Minecraft's all about.
Communicate through Minecraft.
Yeah. All right, let's go to another country. We have Russia again. No, we didn't go to another country. We just stayed where we were, didn't we? Survivarium has a 1-day beta, and I think that's today. 24. Nope, that was
Yes, so start
not
downloading
today.
now.
No.
And
Yeah.
That was 2 days ago.
10 minutes.
But the reason why I bring them up is because they're the developers of Stalker. You remember the Russian teaching game?
I remember Stalker. So you're recommending this one is what you're saying.
You gotta go out and get it.
Fucker. Still got that somewhere. There it is. Sitting on the shelf.
What's interesting is that this game, they want it to be an MMO, but they're starting off by just making it kind of a multiplayer.
Single player kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Or like
Here's
an
the thing,
arena.
though. It's the same people that did Stalker. Stalker, when it was in development at the very beginning, was supposed to be an MMO. It was supposed to be so realistic. They had grand plans, and they had really they had captured an audience before they even had a product. Way before Kickstarter ever thought of, begging for money and panhandling. These guys actually said, this is what we're going to do. And as they started producing it, the publisher said, no, you got to cut this. No, you got to cut this. So we ended up with basically a fairly decent single player game once you get over the language barrier, but a fairly decent single player game, and a multiplayer game that was same as all the other shooters out there, just the environments were and weapons were a little bit cooler at the time. It's like they're doing it in the exact opposite. They want all of those features that they wanted in Stalker, but they're just going to go with the simple multiplayer for now and try and add things to it. I don't know if that'll work against them or for them.
Well, at least it should cut down on some of that development time, like that Stalker had.
Stalker was, 6 years in development?
I was thinking 7, but yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started very grand and ended up having to whittle away. But still turned out a good product for what it was.
But it's multiplayer only.
This one, for right now.
But see, I can't justify paying money for a multiplayer only game.
I think it might be free to play.
I can. But it all depends on the price.
I can't play, or I can't justify one for paying pretty much any money for one without bots. You've at least got to have bots in there.
Yeah. If you can't, like if your internet goes down, you can't play your game until your internet's fixed.
Killing Floor is only multiplayer, right? There's Titanfall, but that's we don't like.
'Cause you can play Killing Floor single player.
Right.
There's no story.
Right.
You can play it single player.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. There is a difference, yes. Because of the bots, or because of the way it's not even bots. It's just the way it's set up.
Yeah, they just let you play.
Yeah, the AI, the enemy.
Yeah.
There is no price because it's still in beta and it's not actually being released yet.
Oh,
Morphus asks about the price of Survivarium. I don't even think it's been announced at a certain price. So
It's Russian. You have to pay in kroners.
rubies.
Rupees? No,
Sure.
India's rupees.
Well, don't they also
rubles,
hire out?
Isn't Russia kroners? Something like that.
I don't know.
Maybe that's Croatia. I don't know. I really don't know.
No, not Croatia. Yeah, they pay in Croatians.
Actual people.
I
Croatia.
thought it was a ruble.
Ruble? I don't know. Let's see. Russian currency. That should come up with something. Rubles. Russian rubles.
Ruble. Okay.
Did you know did you ever see an Indian contract? They all have like 300 or so rupees attached to it.
They give you money?
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
It's not worth very much, but
No.
it's like they have to sign their contracts with money. I think that's like their idea of like making a contract real is there's an exchange of money or something. I don't know.
It's my commitment.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're doing a lot of outsourcing, are you?
Oh well. No, we're actually. I can't say.
300,
Okay.
300 rupees is equal to $5.46 Canadian cent. Well, yeah, $5.46 Canadian, which is USA. Just under $5.
Mm-hmm.
Who was beeping?
Me. All right. Jumping over to another country, the Koreans. They have an MMO Korean MMO Black Desert is being put together, and the news, which I don't know if who's putting this news out, is talking about how beautiful and amazing this looks. And I watched it. It's nice, but I'm not going to say it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Sorry for the volume.
Little volumescent.
Might be the most beautiful MMO.
Where's the nudity skins?
Yeah, I mean,
This is
without
Korea.
that, I don't even want to play.
This is Korea. The only thing you can have here are pictures of Kim Jong whatever.
Kim Jong-il.
Kim Jong-un.
Notice how there's no people? Because they're all dead.
They're doing as they're told.
Oh, but it was a people.
This
Or was that
game
a tree? That was either a people or a tree.
this game probably won't be out until next year.
I'm guessing it was a people because it was on a bridge.
Oh. nice
So it's got
transition.
this fly through.
Mhm.
Yes, it's beautiful.
And that's it.
Flying through. Let's see what it's like when you're playing it. Oh, not
Yeah.
quite so beautiful, is it?
That's kind of what I'm wondering. They go to great lengths to make stuff look great, but you can't if it can't stand up gameplay wise, then it makes no difference.
Yeah. Then who was the ones that did Terra? Who did Terra? What country was that?
En masse. Oh, what? That was. I think it was Korean.
That's what I'm thinking. And that one stood up very well.
Oh.
It was a different style altogether,
Yeah.
but the gameplay worked.
Yeah, that much. is
You
true.
got sucked into Terra.
Just briefly.
Terra you got sucked into?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one where you were the little fox or a chicken or whatever?
And then I was some anime chick. Yeah.
I think the art side was really weird for that, but it looked nice.
I thought it played well.
I mean, this looks like a giant level created on Crytek, and they're just flying you through the level just to show you, like, oh, look at all the pretty we can make.
They're showing birds, but they're just hovering. Didn't know the birds could
Hovering
hover there.
birds. Well, birds do that in the future.
Ah. They're
They
all
just hover.
offspring of hummingbirds.
They're offspring of helicopters.
They're helicopter birds. They have laser beams strapped to their head.
Jeez.
I know, that's the thing. This is Korea of the future when they move into they discover time travel and put all the Celts in Korea so that you have castles.
Now that makes sense.
Yes. I wanted to bring that to your attention.
Yeah. Where have you been all this time?
Yeah.
Well,
Go learn something.
it could be worse. You could be playing this game from France, or at least by French producers, called, geez, I don't even know what it's called. It's a drowning simulator.
Oh, that's cool.
Swim like a rock.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. I played a little bit of it.
Did you?
Yeah. It's basically you start off in a ship. Next thing you know, you're off overboard and you're trying to stay swimming while your buddy leaves you there to drown.
What a
And
jerk.
there's no way to win it.
No, there is no way to win. You're going to lose. Because you're going to get bored out of your mind. No, I don't know why.
No,
Actually, I do know why, but
yeah. No matter how good a swimmer you are,
Mhm.
how fast you think you are, eventually you run out of energy and you drown and you die.
So I think the lesson is don't try.
and if it looks realistic, that's because I think it is real.
Yeah.
Almost
They got
immediately.
they got camera strapped to some dude's head.
Yeah. Yep, that's
Trip
it.
out to sea is what it's called in English.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why his buddy left him there to die.
It's might as well just give you like cement feet and just let you sink. If it all ends the same.
Or pop him over the head with an oar, at least, you know? So he doesn't have to go through this. All right. Well, good old French. Putting a smile on your face. Well, however, let's go over to Americas. The good old America, where you have people who are probably doing pornography trying to teach you to program.
Gotta get them to learn somehow.
Just trying to strip your way through college.
Well, that makes sense on their end. But who's going to be buying into this? So the idea here is to get these lovely women to to entice you to pay attention to what she's saying.
Well, they did this in the UK with topless news and things like that.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I mean, were they?
And realistically, the only people that are going to bitch about this is fat, ugly women.
I never watched through this whole video. How much clothing are they wearing? Just enough to motivate you.
Oh my God, what's the next lesson I need to know?
Exactly.
They probably offer one-on-one tutorage as well. So that's the difference there with America versus the rest of the world.
Well,
all right.
I know where I'm learning the code from now on.
But I did come across
code.
I came across another website that shows off. It's a breakdown of how video games work. I thought it was an interesting idea. The only problem with it is that it's teaching this to you in a specific programming language that you're not necessarily going to use everywhere. But otherwise, it's okay. It's going to go and show you how to program something and do it with a visual element saying this is what you're accomplishing and why it's doing what it's doing, and then here's how you program it.
Well, at least it's going to show you some concepts. Which, in those, the concepts are generic enough to be brought to different languages. With, of course, with the
It's easier to program something, because this is just math. It's easier to program something if you understand how it works.
Right.
It's the same.
I agree. Yep.
It's the same as designing anything where physics is involved, or where, like, for example, me designing cranes. You have to know how it's going to react and the math behind why it's reacting so that you can design it. So
you have to first know what a crane is in order to design one.
But it's not a bad thing.
No. I used to promote that idea back when we did a lot of modding. I used to say you need to understand the game engine in order to make a mod for it, because if you don't understand the engine, you're just going to assume it can do absolutely anything you throw at it, and it can't. You have to know its limitations and know how to and come up with ways to get around that.
But I mean, it's not even understanding the engine so much as understanding, like, if you want to have a bullet to have a trajectory that actually follows gravity, where the further away it is, the less accurate it's going to be, because your bullet's dropping with gravity. This is how you do it. This explains the process of doing it so that oh, this is how it's supposed to work. Then you can look at the engine and say, okay, here's the math I need to apply.
Right.
And from there, it's simple.
Which is good to have the straight up math, as opposed to trying to rely on a physics engine in a game, which often does not do the work.
Physics on a bullet? God. Yes.
No, I don't want to get too technical for you, but physics on a bullet is an extremely bad idea, mostly because of the speed at which it travels.
Come on. Calculating every 0.001.
Well, no. What I'm getting at is the idea that you use something like an on collision with the bullet. The bullet becomes a physics object, and the thing that you're hitting is a physics object. When the two collide, you assume that thing was shot. However, you can't assume that the collision will actually happen, because if the bullet's traveling fast enough, it could actually arrive at its collision point between frames, therefore never collide. So you need to come up with some prediction.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you need to have a check and balance to make sure that it
Yes.
actually does happen, because you could fire a bullet and Buddy could step away,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially if you're doing a long range thing where you're going to have this effect.
Mm-hmm.
There's that time of flight to the bullet that you have to calculate, and Buddy could step away, and it's not, you know, you could be shooting him in the eye and all of a sudden you miss.
Or you could
Why?
shoot him in the eye and he runs around a building, all the way around a building, and then gets shot in the eye. It could go both ways, depending on
if you're.
This is the wonderful world of figuring out these problems.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience.
But it is a fun experience, I think.
It is.
For some people, it would be maddening.
It's puzzle solving.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sweet.
Going over to, let's see.
Some Mods Online news.
I threw this in.
Online.
I threw this in there because this one of our guys, one of the guys that frequents Mods Online, and he posted an article regarding a developer meetup where they got to talk to some developers for The Last of Us, the game The Last of Us.
Well, this was that panel that was in Santa Monica that, well, she said, I think, who posted? Sparky McSparks posted it originally. And well, she said, yeah, you should go to this. And, of course, Sparks went there and
well, he's over there anyway, so
yeah,
great.
Well, yeah, he probably next door to him or somewhat, but yeah, and did a video, so.
Yeah, there's a video of the whole conference that went on, which is great. It is a little long. It's an hour and 20 minutes, so I can't actually download it and show it to you here in the show. But I think it's a great idea. Now, is this a reason for you to want to join the IGDA Association? Well, I'm going to let that decision be yours, but no.
Yeah, the IGDA charges money.
I don't care about the money. The money is not that big of a deal to be part of the organization. The question is, what does the organization actually do?
Yeah, the worthness of the...
Yeah.
That's not even a word. Now it is. I've created a new word for you here, the worthness.
You could say worthiness, right? Wouldn't that
worthwhileness? I don't know. I like worthness. I just kind of... It says it all. The value for your dollar is
right.
Right. I unfortunately think there is not much worthness in the organization as a member.
It works, doesn't it?
And that's why I brought the...
It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but it really nails the thought.
Yeah, it's because of what you get in return for what you pay. It's kind of like...
Yeah, well, I had been a member for a number of years, and then I decided to let that drop off because I didn't feel like there was much value in what I was getting out of it. I didn't feel, or the worthiness wasn't represented in the media in what was provided to me in the conversations that we were having at the time. Maybe that has changed, but I didn't want to waste my time anymore.
I am right there with you.
Okay. I wish it was different. I really do. Okay. Then we can go back over to where we? No, we weren't there. But
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia. They're from Ubisoft, so that makes them French, or could be French Canadian. I don't know which one this is in.
We hate them
in this
anyways.
case. Yeah. So they're saying that the Prince of Persia title.
Isn't that what you bulwarked?
No,
I don't know.
Game company.
No, I don't know. I don't think he ever worked for any company except his own. No, that was Running with Scissors, wasn't it? Didn't he do something with them?
I don't know.
That was a movie. Never mind. I don't know. So Prince
of genius.
Oh yeah, he'll tell you that. So Prince of Persia, we talked about last week, was rumored to be a 2D reboot, and as soon as that was announced by probably someone that worked in the company, he got a boot in his butt, and they yanked that off of his Twitter account. And then it went over to talk about how this game was actually being worked on using their new 2D engine called UbiArt engine.
Oh, isn't it the same one that got used for the Rayman?
I don't know.
I could be wrong, but I don't.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, I didn't like the look of those games.
It's 2D.
Well, you're not the one that other people feel differently. Some people
No,
do
well,
see the
Prince-
worthiness in it.
I'm in the minority on this one. People love those two
Prince
games.
of Persia has its own fans, and they will, they're just about as vehement as COD fans or
Sonic fans.
and passionate as Sonic fans, things like that. And you could poop and call it Prince of Persia, and they would buy it.
It's true. It's true. I'm a bit upset that the cell shaded one didn't go a bit further because, I mean, the gameplay was a bit lacking, but it seemed like it had potential, and I just kind of dropped it. Like, oh, this didn't become an instant hit, so it's never to be seen again. But oh well. But I just don't know if 2D, going back to 2D, is the way to go.
Unless you're trying to put it on a phone.
Unless you're trying. Oh, really good point.
Then it makes total sense.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe they got some sort of deal with Microsoft so that they can throw it on their Windows 8 machines and phones.
Maybe coming to a Zune near you.
Oh boy. All right. Get off of the Zune topics and talk about Evolve, who has a new trailer out there. Yeah, we're done with our tour around the world for a little bit, but they have some sort of six-way trailer. I don't know what that six-wayness means, but there's another trailer out there for Evolve, if you care to watch that. Hey, it's French again. Right? That is French.
Everywhere.
Oh, this is the French version, because the English version I couldn't download.
English.
They wanted my username and password. They already know enough about me.
They wanted it so that you could prove you were 18. But in France,
They don't care.
they don't care.
So what we're watching, or what I'm watching and you'll watch soon, is a video of of the monster going around and killing other AI-based monsters for energy so that he can grow and get more stronger. Mm-hmm. And then it switches over to peoples.
Rawr.
So it's a bit of a back and forth where you got the teams. I guess they're out to get the monster in the beginning, and the monster is sort of trying to survive and get stronger, and then it sort of changes, and now they're running away from the monster. Or no, I guess they're still trying to kill the monster, but it's just not as easy anymore.
Yeah. If the monster powers up, then the longer the monster lives, theoretically, the less chance the humans should have of winning.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to play this at the price we discussed. What was that?
$15.
Free.
What was its worthiness?
Free. I don't know. A game like this, where it's 5 people max, $15.
I'd say $15. If I can play single player without requiring people, like, without needing an online connection, I'd pay a bit more.
Yeah, maybe 20, 25. But that's its worthiness to me.
I'd pay 30.
I think my max would be 30.
You're a sucker. Really. I was trying to think of another word that was less
Offensive?
damning, but
All right. Well, there you go. You guys can watch this whenever you want.
I'm regretting not purchasing one of those high def projectors that we saw at PAX that year for $100. The one that you were almost going to buy.
I'm glad I didn't. Why are you regretting it?
Why are you glad? I thought they worked.
When would I use it? The great benefit was to project your phone, right?
Well, yeah, but you got a movie on your phone. You can just watch it on the back of the seat of the airplane, because now they don't have TVs in airplanes anymore. They're taking them all out.
Not in my airplanes. I haven't heard this.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
They're going to take out all the TVs.
Why?
Because they are going to have Wi-Fi connection available so that you can rent.
Oh.
So they're gonna monetize you being able to use your internet and your phone on board. So you're not going to watch movies and TV anymore. They will have streaming content available that you can rent onto your phone or your tablet or PC or whatever, and you'll also be able to rent a Wi-Fi connection. So
I always rent a movie on my iPad before I leave on a plane because I don't trust them. I've been on planes where it doesn't work anyways, the TV that is. Nothing works.
you fly on those no frills ones that have the snakes.
JetBlue, I think, was the last one that had no TV. That or Virgin. Yeah, no snakes. Might be spiders, but no snakes.
Ha!
Ha! All right, Assassin's Creed
You're just not gonna let that go.
is going to feature 4-player co-op. This is just a rumor still.
Which is what Oblivion should have had, or whatever it's called now. The
Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. I'm assuming you're
Skyrim.
talking about.
Yeah. That's all anybody ever wanted out of Skyrim. Even 2-player co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Assassin-
2-player would have been okay. 4-player would have been sweet spot.
Yeah. They should just rename it Assassin's Creed Another One. That should be the subtitle.
It's very confusing also to see it named Assassin's Creed Unity. I keep thinking it was built on the Unity engine.
Yeah.
It's a bad
Yeah,
idea.
but that's your twisted mind drawing that connection.
I don't know what to think. I couldn't really get into Assassin's Creed, the first one or the second one.
Me either.
If Welshie were here, he would be telling us why we should care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, and the thing about Assassin's Creed, and every title of Assassin's Creed has been this way as far as I'm concerned. Everything is so cool about it except the gameplay.
Yeah.
The environments are fantastic. The parkour is fantastic. It gets old after a while, but the gameplay is horrible.
I remember the
It's just-
downfall. The first Assassin's Creed that came out, I saw at E3 before it was released, and it was going to be released the following month, and it was so buggy, there was no way I was going to give them money.
And yet it became a hit because they told you it was going to be a hit before it released.
Yeah.
We decided
of
for
that.
you this was going to be a hit.
A lot of that going around.
I didn't buy that McDonald's glass, so it didn't work.
Titanfall.
Yeah, they're trying that hard with Titanfall, and Evolve now too is starting to really kick up.
Yeah. I should start doing that for anything I make. Just this will be a hit because I say it's going to be a hit. And if you choose not to believe it, you're not living in reality.
Do you want to play my game? I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
It's just too big for you. Unless you give me money. If you give me money, then I'll let you play it. But
Yeah.
I'm not just going to let anybody play my game.
It could work. It has.
I'll charge way too much for it.
Have a special edition that doesn't include the game.
Yeah.
Developer's notes, personalized. You could just say, "Hi, Ham. Here you go. Here's your piece of paper. This game sucks, Ham." Developer's note. Bunch of developer. It comes with developer's notes. Comes with a whole bunch of what do you call it? Sticky notes, post-it notes. These are my developer's notes. There's 3 of them. Make game, make money, retire. There you go.
All right, well, back to Ubisoft. Yeah, and talking about Watch Dogs, there's a lot of Watch Dogs stuff that was announced, and here the developers over at Ubisoft want you to know that frame rate in this game is very, very important, which tells me that it's going to be a horrible game to play.
Yeah.
If frame rate is that important. It's not only important to the game, but it's also important to the controls. Why is frame rate important to the controls?
Yeah, that's what I wonder.
If I'm off by a frame, what does that mean?
That means you missed pressing the button at the precise time you had to press the button.
That's right.
Oh, like the opening of Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Press F.
It's easy.
I like how they and that was one thing that pissed me off about Tomb Raider. You had to watch the screen because it would change every time you play a certain sequence. One time you'd play it through and you'd have to press F. Another time you'd have to press X or Q or some bizarre, like press P now. Well, who the fuck's ready to press P, you fucking dickwads? So then you have to play through the sequence again and you're ready to press P and they change the fucking key up. That doesn't make a game fun. That makes it fucking retarded.
I don't remember that.
That pissed me off about Tomb Raider to no end. You know, I thought they did a good job of melding gameplay with like little cutscenes, but then you'd get the fucking stupidity in the cutscene. Who thought that was a good fucking idea?
Yeah, agreed. I didn't need that. Press X to win.
Yeah. Press Control Alt F12 now. Oh, you died. What the fuck?
Frame rate is very important, Stryder. If you had better frame rate, you would have been able to do better.
Yeah. Lara Croft typing tutor.
Type this sentence to win.
The quick brown fox jumps over the... Oh, too late, you're dead. Fuck this game!
I like that. We should change it. All right.
It'd be like that drowning simulator.
Actually, that would probably go over well for the internet. Those people with the simple minds do a whole typing simulator.
If you type fast enough and it's correct, then Lara removes a piece of clothing. If you don't type fast enough, she shoots you in the face with a bow. And you have to start over.
I was thinking of the drowning simulator. Every wrong key is another dip in the water.
Another mouthful of water. Thing is, you're drowning in the ocean. Anybody that's ever swam in the middle of the ocean, you just float. You can't sink in salt water.
Perhaps they were in the.
It was a little rough.
I don't know which ocean is not salt.
Well, rough is one thing, but you still bob like a fucking floating apple.
It was a world's largest freshwater lake.
Maybe he had. Oh, if I only hadn't have been wearing these concrete-soled shoes.
Yeah. If I only remembered to take these fishing weights out of my pockets.
Yes.
All right. Going on with Watch Dogs, we have apparently you can ride a spider contraption in the game. Spider tank. Imagine that.
Whatever a spider tank does.
Goes right along with today's topics, huh?
Yes.
For you. This is what bit you the other night.
Spider tank. I've actually driven a spider crane, and it was an 8-legged crane that didn't have wheels, and it just it's designed to go into. It's very lightweight mobile crane, but yeah, it was cool. It won't climb walls or shit like that, but
will it jump off the building tops?
It did not look like that. But that is awesome. Big fucking tarantula.
Yeah. And the two front legs.
That's crazy.
Oh, and it has a turret gun.
Pig. Doesn't look like it needs a turret gun. Looks like it just mash everything.
Yeah.
Spider tank smash.
The people around the spider tank don't seem to mind.
Yeah.
I don't even look at it. Just like, oh, well. Another spider tank.
Oh, good, is there spider tank?
That's gonna cost us some tax dollars.
You know what we need to get rid of these spider tanks? Titans.
Oh, new DLC, Spider Tank DLC.
Oh no, the Titan's only weakness. He's scared of spiders.
All right, and then there's another video out there that apparently has 9 minutes of gameplay. However, when I clicked on it, it said 8 minutes of gameplay, so I'm a little confused on that.
Foreman is advertisements.
The last minute is DLC. That
The name of the video on YouTube is 8 minutes.
But if you pay...
Hi, my name is Colin Graham, and I'm the animation director on Watch Dogs. Today we're going to take a look at some of the groundbreaking...
So if you think you're interested in this game,
World of Watch Dogs,
watch this video.
Watch this. It'll change your mind. It's Ubisoft. Why would you be interested in it?
Single player and the multiplayer. It all happens in the same
Well, they did learn something. The guy speaking does not have a French accent.
Online hacking contracts.
Yeah, because they finally determined that that was negative for 85% of the world.
I don't know if you guys can see that in the video. He looks up somebody, vulnerability, clown fetishist.
What?
Yeah.
All that information is out there for us to see. Right now in the game, we're exploring the living city. I'm using the profiler to hack citizens. I'm looking for
So he's got Google Glass is what he's got.
Yes.
Walking around with Google Glass on.
Exactly.
Watch Dogs, these secrets will lead to gameplay.
That's what it's going to be. You're going to be walking around and all the shit that you've put on Facebook, Google Glass is going to tell people.
Oh, wouldn't that be super creepy if it asked for your Facebook login when you played the game and brought up?
Well, no, I'm talking in real life. Be walking around with Google Glass and be like, hey, apparently all I have to do is say hello to you and I can take you home.
Just to explain to you what happened, let's rewind a bit and take a look at this from another player's point of view.
Hi, my name's Carsten.
Now we're going to watch a truck with a taco hat. Okay, I'm done.
I just, I mean, it's Ubisoft. They obviously are using their experience with Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia. Oh, he is a fan of the taco hat. And they're using their familiarity with this stuff, but it just, to me, it still feels kind of samey. And in this case, it's just walking around and pressing buttons, scanning people, and then doing it again.
And again.
And again.
And when you're done that, there's a whole city full of people you can scan.
It's going to be released in 1 month from today on PC for $60.
Too much.
And that's just the standard edition. You want the limited edition?
How limited is it?
I don't know. It's so limited that they don't have a price.
Your gameplay.
It's so limited. It says sign up to be notified when this item becomes available.
In other words, they haven't determined if there's a reason to have a limited edition.
But there's a deluxe edition for $69 instead of $59.
You don't have to scan anybody to get the spider tank. You just get it immediately at the start.
What do I get for this one? What's the deluxe
A real spider tank that you can drive around in your backyard and impress your friends.
I can't find the difference. Except for the title Deluxe Edition on the screen of the... Alright. I don't know. It looks interesting, but I think it's going to be a big letdown. Well, this would have been a good one to sit in on, Ham. What the creators of Doom and Myst thought of each other's games in 1993.
Oh, that would have been a great one to sit in on.
Yeah, I think they did this over at NYU. They had a conversation, between John Romero and Rand Miller. John Romero worked on Doom. Rand Miller worked on Myst. And they pretty much both didn't like each other's games. Go figure.
Well, they were very, very different from one another.
Yeah.
In a sense that Myst was very in depth, and I'm going to say very pretty at the time. Yet it was so in depth that you couldn't just jump in and play Myst and expect to do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas Doom was instant action. So yeah, they're totally different games. It's like saying, I like death metal, and or I play death metal and you play country. I'm sorry, we're not going to quite get along. We're not going to have the same opinions on what good music is.
Yeah, they're both music.
They're both music, so
both play with guitars, but yeah.
Ah.
Well, they are, but this is during an age when video games are really just starting. So while they're different, it sounds like a great idea, but it's actually not good because you pick up the wrong game and you'll never play games on the PC again.
True.
But see, I played both of those,
So
and
did I.
and really, what blew me away about Myst when I first played it was that it was, at the time, it was cutting edge graphics. It was
Yeah.
almost real life, but to play it, to actually play it and win, like you had to read every book in the fucking library, plus read the novel, in order to figure out where to set the dials at to get the little carriage to move, or to power the carriage so you can get it to move across to move to onto the next area. I'm sorry, that wasn't fun gameplay to me.
I did it.
Whereas I jumped in and I would shoot shit in Doom, and it was like, yeah, fucking yeah, this is great. You know, not saying I don't like an intellectual game or a game with a story, but that one went way overboard on it. And I mean, it still has a following. I know people that still play Myst. I don't know why. Or maybe they're still trying to figure the fucking thing out.
They've been holding on to that save game for a while. Myst Trilogy.
Oh, there it is, Myst Trilogy.
In a giant fucking box.
I unfortunately didn't get to play Doom until years later.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I got.
I was
What are
not.
you doing? You were playing Frogger.
I was not introduced into Doom until much later. I knew Myst as soon as that came out, and I played that. Somebody showed it to me, and I got it.
92, 93, I got to play Doom.
I think I played Doom in 97 or 8 or 9, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow. Oh, maybe I played
And
it
now
later.
look at me.
Now look at me.
This is what Doom's done for me.
All right. Orteal stuff. I thought this was interesting when it came. It's not a game. Well, sort of. It's a game-making script on a website that helps you come up with a theme idea for your game. Let's see if I can get it to fit in this tiny window up here. There you go. I can scroll it over there. All right. So I go up into here and type in some sort of seed. So I'll mash the keyboard. And I come up with a game, a social media game where you memorize birds to earn tokens. All right, let's come up with something else. A war game where you discover abandoned towns with mutated animals.
So this tells you this is a story creator, random story generator.
This is where all our next Kickstarters are coming from.
Awesome.
A horror game where you eradicate crowbars with other survivors.
Where you eradicate crowbars?
Yeah.
Destroy all the crowbars with survivors.
Probably built on the Steam engine. A god game where you feed monsters to score happiness points. An indie game.
Like that Digipet game, essentially.
What was that stuff used to be called?
I figured this would be a good one for Ham, who's always looking for the next game to build, right?
I've got a list of stuff to work on. I don't need this.
So if you get stuck, just head over to this website, type something in, and there you go. That's what I needed.
Next game. It's about crowbars that save the world.
Type in something. It's a drowning simulator. A drowning simulator where no matter how far you swim or how good a swimmer you are, you die.
There you go.
Hey, that's where that idea came from.
Exactly. Okay. So 2K is scrambling around trying to figure out what to do about their GameSpy servers that were shut down. We got the game Civilization and Borderlands. Not sure how they're going to fix that game. How do you fix GameSpy?
Well, that's the problem with a lot of these old multiplayer games. And you look at, GameSpy. GameSpy is GameSpy shutting, or is it just weaning its services from everything?
I thought it was shutting.
It's the services that are shutting down, I thought.
So GameSpy services are shutting down. That was Medal of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first 2 Medal of Honors were all on GameSpy. And that was the only way you could find servers. Because there was no master server query other than GameSpy. So essentially, it's not just those 2 games that are going to lose it.
No,
Civilization
absolutely not.
and Borderlands, I mean. Now, Civilization and Borderlands, those are probably... Civilization, I don't know why anybody would still be playing the original one, but okay, maybe you are.
Still playing Myst, so why not?
Borderlands, people... I know there's people still playing Borderlands.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, it is GameSpy itself that's shutting down. They're already gone. So the services are gone.
So yeah, so essentially what would have to happen is 2K would have to try and release a patch to those 2 games that would allow querying a master server elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you'd have to know that the patch exists to download it and use it.
Yeah, and people that are playing, well, Borderlands not so much of a problem. People that are playing still this original Civilization, they've got to be playing that on like a Windows 95 computer. Because I don't think it would run on anything greater than that.
Probably a Mac with an emulator.
So they're
That's
probably
about the
not
same
connected to the internet
mentality.
on dial-up somewhere. They got one of those modems with the phone where you stick the phone on the modem. Worse than dial-up.
I never had that. I wish I did. I had the one that plugged directly into the modem.
I wish I did, he says. I wish I did, he says.
All right. That's it. That's an hour. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Play games. Go out and find good games. And tell us about them.
World Tanks released a patch to fix the brokenness that they implemented with their last patch. Made it a little bit less frustrating because I'm not crashing to desktop all the time.
Patch for a patch.
But that's right. That's essentially what it's come to in our world.
This is where we're at.
Band-aids on heart attacks. And I believe that I am not going to be attending PAX this year.
Oh,
Bum, bum,
that's new. For you?
It is new for me. I'm
Oh,
disappointed.
and you don't like it. Okay, sorry.
I'm disappointed in it, but I have been told that I will not be attending PAX this year.
See, now we definitely have to figure something else out.
Apparently they have spiders in Seattle.
Let me tell you, folks, that's not where you want to be.
Well, from the sounds of it, like nobody else was going except maybe Ham.
Well, you guys screwed me.
Now Ham's going alone. He's already got tickets.
It's fine. I'll go to Game Board convention or something.
I'd like to go to PAX. It's just I started looking at the costs and the boss said no.
Especially after last year. See, you can't look at last year's. That's the top. You got to take the top and the bottom off and look at the middle.
Yeah. Well,
she's an accountant and should know that.
Still, like the thing is flight down there and a hotel, because I'm not staying at like Stabville where Welshie stayed. I'll stay at the same hotel I've always been at. It's
found an old. He found some old dude to protect him in the bar. Hello.
In the bar. Hey, you look like you're trustworthy. Hold my room key for me so I don't lose it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. I think I got to take a break. Maybe
Okay.
I'll go next year. Maybe in the spring we'll go to Texas. But even then, that's a full day of travel for me each way.
That's true, isn't it?
We'll come up with one. We'll come up with MODSCon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's gone. Yeah.
It'll be held in Las Vegas or something.
I'm not allowed to go to Las Vegas.
Oh.
You've been banned.
Even for business, I'm not allowed to go to Las Vegas. That law was laid down a long time ago, apparently. I don't know
Under no
why.
circumstances.
It's not like I'm a huge gambler.
I certainly don't want to go to Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah, I went to Atlantic City, but I mean,
Yeah, with me once.
yeah, and now I can say that I don't ever have to go there again.
That's right.
Let's go to a European convention. Let's go to a European convention. If we're going to spend money and go to a convention, let's go to one in Europe.
I don't know about that one expo
Why?
though. Yeah, I'm not saying any expo, sure, but there was that one that Welshie and Breezy went to that sounded a little lackluster.
That's
Yeah.
not you're
I forgot the name of it.
They've also got some of the biggest game conventions in the world occur in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Like
Can't
Tokyo, we
think
can go
of
over to
it right.
Tokyo for probably any time of the year they're having some sort of convention. Right about now, they'll have the console convention.
Tokyo. Wouldn't mind going to Tokyo.
yeah, I'd love to go.
Fox wants to go to Tokyo next year.
The Fox.
Who's Fox?
Foxhound.
Foxhound.
Oh, okay.
All right, gents.
All right.
I'm going to wrap things up here. So I'm going to thank you all for taking the time out to chat today. Thank you, Stryder, for joining us.
It's always an adventure.
Yes, thank you, Ham, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll be back next week with some more stuff to talk about, or at least some of us will be. And others won't. All right, so go maybe play find something to do, and we'll talk about what you can play next week. See you then.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
What happens when you take a trash can, fill it with an explosive, and light it, and then show it to your other redneck neighbors? Why, this is what happens.
Still waiting to see it. I heard it.
Yes.
I heard it, but I'm waiting to see it.
Apparently that's a new thing going on where there's a number of redneck communities that are filling up garbage cans and lighting them like giant cannons.
Unbelievable. This is what we've regressed into.
That one's
Well,
actually from Ireland, but they also do it in the United States
I
somewhere, I
don't have
think.
rednecks in Ireland. They got red heads.
Oh.
Yeah, bonsai.
Huzzah.
If you could have tied that in with an IRA theme, then you would have been good. All right.
That's IRA training is all that is.
All right, everyone. Have a...
Explosive and redneck, that just kind of sounds southern states-ish.
I thought you were going to say an oxymoron, which also, by the way, is an oxymoron. All right, everyone.
It's funny because it's true.
We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Have a